people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a lovely day. March, it's Endometriosis Awareness Month. I thought I would do a little information pack video session where I just talk a bit about what endometriosis is, its symptoms, and my top tips for dealing with it. So endometriosis is a condition affecting 1 in 10 women and people assigned female at birth. It's basically when tissue similar to the lining of the womb forms in other places, and it has now been found on every organ in the body. Now you might be wondering, what does that actually mean? Like, what happens? What symptoms do you get? There's a lot. So one of the most common symptoms that is frequently dismissed by medical professionals is extremely painful periods. PSA, extremely painful periods are not normal. Society really needs to stop telling us that it is, because it's definitely not. If you get pain that is not helped by over-the-counter pain relief, that stops you from going to school or work or carrying out your normal sort of daily activities, that makes you vomit or faint, that is not normal. And please, please speak to your doctor, and if they dismiss you, find a doctor who does not, because it can be a symptom of conditions like endometriosis or adenomyosis. Never know how you say that one. Other symptoms include things like chronic pelvic pain, so pain outside of your period as well, back pain, issues with bladder and bowel movements, pain with sex, fatigue, nausea, shoulder tip pain, which can more commonly occur when you have endometriosis either sort of on your diaphragm or your lungs, which can also cause chest pain and rib pain. Infertility is another symptom of endometriosis, and it occurs approximately in between 30 and 45% of people with endometriosis. Endo can also cause really serious damage. It can cause things like collapsed lungs, permanent organ damage, fused organs. It can cause internal bleeding, cyst ruptures. There's all sorts of things that come with it. It is not just the bad period that people like to paint it as. It is a whole body condition that really has a huge impact on countless people's lives. Now, the only way to diagnose endometriosis is through a laparoscopy, which is a keyhole surgery. You can sometimes see some characteristics suggestive of endometriosis on scans. For example, endometriomas, which are what we call chocolate-filled cysts. So they're basically cysts that are filled with blood. That sort of thing you can see on a scan, but a scan is not a definitive way to diagnose endometriosis, and it's actually super common for patients with endometriosis to have clear scans. So just because your scan doesn't show anything does not mean you don't have it. Unfortunately, there aren't very many treatment options and there are no cures. Most of the treatment revolves around hormonal things, so for example the contraceptive pill, the coil, things like this, which of course come with their own side effects, with their own complications, and you need to make an informed decision about what is and is not right for you. The gold standard treatment for endo is excision surgery with a specialist. This is usually done via a laparoscopy, where they will cut out any endometriosis that they find. There are 2 types of surgeries that people can have, and that is ablation and excision. Now, ablation is when they burn the endo off, and excision is when they cut it out. And excision is considered much, much better than ablation because it has a significantly lower recurrence rate, and it's just a more effective type of surgery. So that is like a little crash course on endometriosis, and now I thought I would share some of the tips, some of the things that I've picked up over the years when living with it. So the number one thing is finding the right medication for you, and by medication I mean pain relief. There is no shame in having to take pain relief. If it helps you function and it helps you have a better quality of life, then absolutely go for it, of course, with your doctor's help. The next thing is heat. I know you will have heard this a million times before, but people really underestimate how much heat can help. And now there's different types of heat that you can use. You can use a hot water bottle, an electric mat, which I will link one that I love down below. It's from Amazon and I love it. And there's also these heat belts that you can buy that you can charge up and then turn them on and they heat up, and you strap them around your tummy, which is Super helpful for if you're out and about and maybe you don't want to walk around with a hot water bottle stuffed down your trousers. My next piece of advice is using something called Beyou period patches. Now these are all natural sort of patch that looks a bit like a giant plaster that you can stick on your tummy. There's all sorts of oils and stuff in it, and I genuinely love these. I've run out, so I need to buy new ones, but I use them all the time. They are incredible, and if you haven't tried them yet, I would definitely give them a go. They're not going to get rid of your pain, but I really do find they help ease some of that discomfort. My next tip for the pain is a TENS machine. TENS machines work by sending little electrical impulses to your brain which help block the pain signals, and they're used loads in things like labour, so childbirth. They are really helpful for pain. Again, they probably won't get rid of all your pain, especially if you get really severe pain, but they can really help, and I would 100% recommend giving them a go. My final tip is, if you are in the process of getting diagnosed, please don't give up. Unfortunately, it takes most people multiple doctor's visits, often multiple hospital visits, hospital admissions, before they get taken seriously and they get that diagnosis. If your doctor is dismissing your pain and not doing sufficient investigations, please speak to another doctor. Sometimes you have to essentially like shop around doctors until you find someone who actually listens to you and takes what you're saying seriously, which is awful. It should not be that way, but sadly it is the reality, and there are doctors out there who will listen to you and who will investigate what you are telling them. So please don't give up and find those doctors, because you deserve answers, and you don't deserve to be told that it's in your head, or that it's just normal period pain, or that you're just, you know, you've got a low pain threshold. These are things that most of us have heard and are absolute bullshit. A painful period doesn't cause permanent organ damage, doesn't cause infertility, doesn't cause collapsed lungs. It is so much more than just a painful period, and we deserve proper treatment, proper care, and we deserve more research to help us find a cure and help the millions of people across the globe who are suffering under this condition. So yes, this March, this Endometriosis Awareness Month, please speak to your friends, your family, your employers about it, amplify the voices of people with endometriosis, share factual information. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found it helpful. If you've got any tips or any more questions about endo, feel free to pop them in the comment section down below, and definitely check out my Instagram, because over on there I do loads of work around endometriosis, raising awareness, giving more advice for other people who are also suffering with it, and I do have a heap of other videos here on YouTube about endometriosis, so definitely check those out too. I hope you have a lovely day, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Mwah! Bye!